We're unmuted. The bird is still loud though, so
No big deal. We got
we got an audience today.
special guest.
It's the special live audience guest member. Yeah, sing it, Sonny.
Was the bird named Sonny?
That's his name, Sonny.
Sonny.
Sonny, the fucking bird I hate. Don't like him. I think he knows too. He knows I don't like him. All right. I'm ready when you are.
Yep.
Okay. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a weekly gaming news show, the podcast where two video game playing veterans come together and we talk about the news for the week in terms of gaming. We're your hosts. My name is Trinell. You can call me True Sonic, and I'm here as always with the homeboy Todd, but we like to call him Up Jump the Boogie. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Maintaining.
Yeah, we're here with a live audience. Don't mean to interrupt you, but we're going to be interrupted a lot this show. We have a special guest, Sonny the Parrot, is going to be screaming at the top of his little lungs all show. I'm certain. I don't know what's his deal, but he's just going ape shit right now. But back to your weekend. How you been?
I'm good, man. I didn't do anything this weekend. I just maxed and relaxed. We did a Marvel movie marathon yesterday.
Oh man, that sounds fun.
Watched the Black Panther and then all three Cap movies. And
oh yeah,
and yeah, that's it. I didn't do much today either. I just laid around, did some chores, played some games.
Okay, guys, got some games. You know what? I've actually been going ham on God of War. I'm done with the main campaign, but there's still some stuff I need to do, side story stuff. That game is awesome, man. Probably one of the best single player experiences I've had in like a very, very long time. Like up there with Horizon Zero Dawn. Like when I first played that, it's like, oh man, it's like up there. Such a good game, and the combat is so good. Like it's challenging, but it's really good. Like I can't give it enough praises on my end. But other than that, I finally managed to see Deadpool. That's why I'm rocking the Deadpool shirt right now. Yeah,
Deadpool's awesome.
Oh man, that movie was good, dude.
No spoilers because it's only the second week.
Yeah, to give it a couple weeks, then we'll start spoiling everything. But man, that movie was good. Yeah, very good movie. I'm curious as to what they're going to go into next. They had a few little like hints at the end of where they could possibly go. But it's actually going to be really interesting to see where they go with him. I'm also interested as to what they're going to do with the X-Men as well, because a lot of that X-Men were like sprinkled in to the Deadpool movie.
The next movie the next X-Men movie is going to be
that's the Phoenix one, right?
Yeah, the Phoenix one. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. It'd be really cool if they actually like intertwine the Deadpool and X-Men, because they kind of do it, but not really. But it'd be really good if they
put it in,
like full on.
And beyond that, there's Trouble in Paradise, right? And this is off topic and outside of gaming, but Comcast
off the cuff.
Comcast made a hostile bid on the Fox 20th Century Fox.
Oh, really?
So Disney had bid $54 billion, and Comcast made a hostile bid of $60 billion just recently.
Ooh.
So either Disney's going to have to come up off more cash, or we might not get that X-Men Avengers crossover we are so hoping for.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Comcast in charge of the X-Men? I don't like that. That doesn't sound good at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That sounds terrible. But so that's what we've been up to. Let us know what you guys have been up to down in the comments. How was your weekend? And the such. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into the show. And as always, we're going to start off with our weekly icebreaker. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and introduce the question?
This is one of our favorite icebreakers. It's something that pops up every so often. And the question is, what you playing? Summer edition. Yeah. Summer's coming up. We got Memorial Day, which is the unofficial start of summer. That's tomorrow. So what you playing, Sonic?
Man, I just mentioned I've been playing a lot of God of War. I just finished that. Of course, I'm still playing a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm so in love with that game. I'm in love with the combat and just trying to get better at it. I'm not sure, but I might be competing in a tournament later in the fall. I know Mount Love is going to compete. I'm going to go to support him, but I may enter myself. I'm not sure. But there's that, and
it's in DC, right? Is it the one in DC?
I think this one is actually in New Jersey.
In Jersey?
The one that Mount Love is looking to enter.
Okay, cool.
Other than that, State of Decay 2 just came out, and I am going to get my Xbox Game Pass today, and I'm gonna play it today, probably after the show.
I have the Game Pass, and I have State of Decay, and I talked to my brother last night. We got into it. We were talking about, he's talking about how he's playing it, and he kind of shamed me. So that's what I was playing today. I played some State of Decay today because I've been, Destiny 2. I am a Destiny head, for better or for worse. And the latest DLC, the Warmind DLC, I think is really good. I like what they did with it. My only concern is some of the progression they locked behind a time gate, but I'm okay with that because it makes me come back. And there's other stuff. There's a lot of other things to do. So I'm really been crushing on the Warmind DLC. I've been playing that. I started playing State of Decay. I actually went back and played a little bit of Far Cry.
Okay.
To get some of that shame off of me.
Yeah, I need to beat that game.
And the Vietnam DLC is coming out in June.
Oh no, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's coming out. They just announced that's coming out in June. And then also, I've got a mobile game that's got me hooked. I've been playing a ton of Marvel Strike Force.
Strike Force is fun, man.
It's mad fun. The thing I hate about that game, I think that microtransactions are crazily abusive. I mean, $35. I mean, the first time I got in there, they were trying to sell me, I think, was it Thanos? Yeah, I think it was Thanos for like $35. I'm like, what? I could buy a game for that. Get out of here.
Yeah, they're crazy with the microtransactions, but I mean, I just like going in there and just mashing buttons and
do a couple of battles.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been I unlocked Dave Bautista.
Okay. What's it called?
I can't think of his name.
Drax.
Drax. Yeah, unlocked Drax. And what I've been doing, I unlocked him by doing. I think you unlock him in the arena mode.
Okay.
You buy the 5. I did that like over a few days. It took me actually almost like 2 weeks, I think.
Damn.
And once I've unlocked him, I've just been doing auto battles and trying to upgrade him to make him like a feasible character.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't even gotten that far into it. I've been doing a lot of the story quest missions. So it's kind of just like telling a story. None of the characters that I'm using are actually mine.
Right.
So, but it's cool. I like it. I like it so far.
It's a good game, yeah. Outside of microtransaction, that's horrible.
Yeah. I'm a big like hack and slash beat 'em up guy, so that's like right down my alley. So I've been playing that a lot too. But yeah, let us know what you guys are playing down in the comments section below. You can use the hashtag #AWGNS if you would like to ask us a question, and we can feature that in our weekly icebreaker as well. But with that said, we can go ahead and move on to the next segment, the next part of the podcast, and that's going to be the quick hits. And these are short little lightning round style stories that don't necessarily deserve a deep dive, but there are events that took place this week and events that we want to give you our opinions on. So we're starting off nice and strong here with Boogie's very favorite #1 company in all of gaming. We're talking about Nintendo because just recently they announced a second iteration or a second launch of the Nintendo Switch, essentially. Right. And Boogie, I'll let you, since it's your favorite company, I'll let you go ahead and take this one. So give us the details on what's going on.
This is a quick hit. So we don't have a lot of time.
We don't have a lot of time.
So I'm going to say it quickly. So Nintendo's releasing the second, they're calling it the second Switch, right? And the idea is to say, you already have a Switch, you want to buy this one as a second one in the house, right? Which makes no sense to me because the Switch is portable. Why would you need a second one? But that's beyond the point. So they're releasing a second Switch in Japan. It's coming without the dock, without the charge cable, and without the HDMI cable. So it's just a Switch and 2 Joy-Cons. And it's going for 24,980 yen, which is about $229 American, US dollars. And versus the normal 29,980 or 275 US dollars. When I first saw this, and the only reason I'm talking about this is Nintendo. Those bastards sell that dock for $80.
Yeah. If you bust up that dock, you need a replacement. $80 coming out of your pocket.
But that's not even why you want a replacement dock. I would want a replacement dock because I have a TV in the basement and I have one upstairs. So if I can want to keep moving Switch around, if I can just buy a second dock and put it upstairs, that's cool. It's $80. So for them to take $45 off the price of the Switch and still sell a dock for $80 is disingenuous. It's a cash grab, and it's just Nintendo being Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've coined the phrase for Nintendo, consumer hostile.
Yeah, they are. They are very consumer hostile.
Because it doesn't make sense. And I mean, this is only being done in Japan as of right now.
Right now, yeah.
I don't know how this would go over in the US just because of what you explained. You know, you have a dockless Switch that is only like half of what the actual dock is being sold for, you know, by itself. It's kind of weird that they're doing it like that, but then again, it's Nintendo. They want all your money, and they want you to buy 4-year-old games at full price. So
right. I don't get it. I actually do get it. It's just that they're so blatant with it, and the fact that they're able to get away with it is what annoys me. Because again, if Sony or Microsoft did this, people would be up in arms. But Nintendo, it's okay for Nintendo to do it,
right? Because like when the Xbox One stopped selling the Kinect, it was $100 off.
Right.
And you know, and that
$100,
and that's how much the Kinect cost. So if it just makes sense, like basic mathematics going on over here. But Nintendo is not about that. They flunked out of basic math. So we got a second Switch. And I don't know, man. There's not much more I want to say about it.
No, I just think it's disingenuous. It's consumer hostile, like I always say, at least. And
I say it too. I'm on board, man. I'm on board the Nintendo hate train right now.
Yeah, they can go sit and spin with that nonsense.
Let's move on to the next story. What we got? This is another story close to you.
Oh yeah, this is a Best Buy story. I worked at Best Buy for a while, and I patronize their stores pretty often for most of my electronic needs. But yeah, they had a program called the Gamers Club Unlocked. It was like it's actually $100 a year, but they had it on sale a couple of times for $40. And basically what it did is it gave you a 20% discount on all new release and pre-order games. So I mean, if you're a big gamer, you're buying all of the new titles,
the latest and the greatest, yeah,
it makes sense to be on the Gamers Club Unlocked. But Best Buy apparently seems to be sunsetting that program. It's unclear what they're doing. It's unclear whether they're just shutting it down or if they're replacing it with something else. But they haven't made an official announcement. But when you go to the website, the Gamers Club website, to renew, you're unable to do that. If you try to renew in the store, the SKU is currently invalid. They can't use it. And apparently, an employee told a couple of publications when they were queried that they're not going to be doing that anymore.
Right.
Current members, their membership will still be valid until the end of term. So if your membership doesn't expire,
if you just signed up this year, you're good for a year.
Yep, you're good until it expires. But it's unclear as to what they're going to do with it going forward.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they going to replace it? Because there's a lot of other companies that have a similar gimmick like this. Of course, you look back at GameStop. They have the rewards program or whatever, right. And then Amazon has a discount for Amazon Prime members.
Yep.
You get a discount at checkout,
right,
when you pre-order.
Yeah.
When you pre-order games.
My theory is that this demise is due to the rise of the digital games, digital content. Is like people less and less are buying physical copies,
right?
And at that point, it makes this not necessarily is not a big get for them, because this type of program relies on volume. And if you're not getting those volumes, it's not gonna make any sense.
So did the Gamers Club not work for digital games at all?
No, it only works for physical
copies. So it's only physical
copies in store. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they may be just revamping the Gamers Club Unlocked so that it includes both physical and digital. But they may just want to just get rid of this one, finish this one out, and then start with something fresh and new.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know.
Does Best Buy doesn't sell digital? The only digital stuff I see, they sell the cards, but most of the cards are for DLC.
True.
I haven't seen them sell like digital stuff, and Amazon's the same way. Every now and then you'll see them sell a digital copy, but they're mostly peddling the physical stuff.
No, you can get the download codes from Amazon like right away. Like it's pretty simple.
It's not on every game though. I've seen games where they haven't had the download codes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've only been buying like mostly recent games. Of course, when you buy like older games, like those are going to be physical only.
For sure.
But for more recent games, you know, I've been able, like for Dragon Ball Fighters, I actually had the collector's edition, the physical version, because I was going to get the statue and all that. But then I decided against it, and I just switched my pre-order over to the digital copy just because I wanted it at midnight not the next day. So
got it.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's unfortunate because I know a lot of people benefited from the Gamers Club. So it would be nice if they came out with something new. But if this is the last we see of it, you know, so long to the Gamers Club Unlocked.
Yeah.
I guess they can go ahead and lock it up for now. Puns, y'all. We got them. No, let's go ahead and move on to the next story. Okay, what we got?
This one is freaking hilarious. Everybody's favorite free-to-play Overwatch clone Paladins is in the news. So Paladins has a mobile version. It's called Paladin Strike, and they did an ad campaign. And in this ad campaign, they were advertising a new skin for one of their characters, and they just happened to use as the background Lijiang Tower, which is a tower map, a map from Overwatch.
Yeah.
So they shamelessly use this, and the thing is, it would be less problematic, but they blurred the black background kind of to try to obscure it. So whoever did this particular ad campaign, they knew what they were doing, and they knew where the art came from, and they just didn't really care.
Apparently, Sony knew where they got the artwork from too. He can't stop talking right now. But yeah, it's a blatant like rip. You can see they kind of tried to like dull down the colors a little bit, try to like dim the lights in the background a bit, try to make it their own. But like when you look at them side to side, it's clear as day. This is a blatant rip off. Right. Which is what you can say about Paladins in its entirety if you wanted to. Shout out to G Marks for being the only person I know that plays that game. G Marks is a soldier, man. I respect him for that.
They have 25 million players apparently that plays the game monthly. So there's quite a big following. It's a free to play game, so it's easy to get into. And you know, for people that couldn't get their hands on Overwatch for whatever reason, they have Paladins.
My thing is like, come on, man. They don't have any kind of like Q&A, any kind of like manager, supervisor that like looks over this kind of stuff.
Yeah, according to the high res, I think it was like a marketing manager. He said that there was an overseas partner that did the ad pretty much without any oversight, and
blaming the outsourcer.
Yeah, and they have parted ways with that particular ad agency. But I will say this. Whether you stood over them to create the ad or not, you do have to get final approval. And you gave final approval of that ad. And wait, there's more.
Oh, shit.
Apparently there's been a little bit of code digging into Overwatch. I mean, not Overwatch, Paladins. And they found some menu screens that are exact duplicates of Overwatch. So.
No shame.
Yeah.
Just shameless over there at High Res Studios. They don't care. I mean, at this point, everybody knows that Paladins is a blatant Overwatch clone, and I guess they're just done hiding.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well, that's all we have on Paladins. We have one more quick hit for you, and it involves Big Daddy EA. So let's go ahead and get into it. What are they up to?
So EA acquired the cloud gaming assets of GameFly. If you don't know, you're like, what the hell is that? Well, back in 2013, GameFly launched a cloud gaming service. They launched it on Amazon Fire TV, and it's basically the same as like your PlayStation Now, your Gaikai, and what's the other group? What's the other one that you do on PC? Oh, I can't think of it now.
The streaming service? Is it the GeForce or whatever?
Yeah, the NVIDIA GeForce service. Yeah. It's basically a game streaming service. You know, you stream, you get a bunch of games, you sign up for a monthly service, and you stream a select number of games. Well, EA acquired this particular portion of GameFly. They're acquiring the talent and assets and the technology, and they're going to fold it into their functional teams. So it's not surprising, because if you remember last year, EA said that they would have a streaming type service in the next 2 to 3 years. Yeah. So this is an obvious step into that direction of bringing out that particular streaming service.
Yeah, it lines up with what they planned on doing. So not that big of a surprise. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's actually pretty interesting. I didn't actually know that GameFly had a streaming service. When I think GameFly, I think of the the old school Netflix style where you order it and they send it in the mail and all that. Like I still see commercials for that every once in a while.
Yeah, they're still on. The great G Marks, he uses GameFly.
Oh, G Marks, a trooper, man. He is like a consumer rebel, dude. Just doing everything that nobody does. He's doing that. I like him, man. He probably has a Microsoft Zune, doesn't he, instead of an iPod back in the day?
Man. Come on, man. No.
You know what? I did. I had a Zune back in the day, man. That shit was awesome. It was color. The freaking iPod was all monochrome. That shit was whack. I was like, man, fuck the iPod, dog. Zune. Discontinued the shit out of that thing.
And they just closed the music service this
year.
year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they did. So
Microsoft Music, I think it wound up being Groove was the last.
The last iteration. Yeah.
But yeah, so
oh well.
EA is definitely going full steam ahead.
Stole all that music anyway. Anyway, no, my bad. Go ahead.
full steam ahead into the streaming service. I don't know about streaming, buying any kind of EA streaming service.
Like what games would they allow to be streamed? I mean, the only thing that they're doing right now is
Madden, FIFA, NBA Live, and you got Battlefield, you got Anthem that's going to be coming out.
I gotta stream that? I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Like, do people have the connection for that? I mean, the current streaming is not, all that is cracked up to be. Is like PlayStation Now, like that. Apparently, that thing is garbage.
That's the problem with all of these streaming services is infrastructure. But everybody's like, they're seeing this 5G coming up and the promise of 5G, so they're trying to so now when 5G comes out, everybody will be able to do it, and it'll be able to.
I don't know.
But we'll wait and see, because my belief is that 5G is going to have stupid data caps, but
it's going to do something, man. Like I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. Mm-hmm. I mean, what would be really cool is if they allowed for some of their older games to be streamed, and then if they reinitiated the online capabilities for those games, that would be cool. Like remember the Battlefront.
Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
Because we were talking about EA closing down those fan servers. Mm-hmm. So maybe this
is the reason why.
The reason why, yeah.
What was the other one? The game that they ripped off Team Fortress, Battlefield Heroes.
Battlefield Heroes, yeah.
Yeah. So because that game was a big one. That was one that people mostly complained about getting shut down. When the fan server got shut down. Yeah. So that would be interesting if that's what they decide to do. Yeah,
it'd be really cool. Hopefully somebody over there has a heart and would do that, because right now EA is not on the best terms with everybody.
Their heart is made of gold.
Yeah. They got the Midas touch over there.
If you ain't contributed to that gold heart growing, they don't give a goddamn.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's going to be our quick hits. If you have any stories you would like to get our opinions on, make sure that you hit us up on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook. You can also leave comments down in the comments section on YouTube or wherever it is that you are consuming this media. We're all over the place. But yeah, just reach out to us, let us know what you think, and submit stories that you would like to hear us talk about for way too long. We're already 25 minutes into the show. We're just on the quick hits. So yeah, let's go ahead and end that segment and move on to our top 5 news stories for the week. But before we do that, I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. So let me press the right button and get into that. Here we go. Bam, we in there. So go to newchallenger.gg if you would like to get good at your favorite fighting game with your favorite fighting game character. Supporting all of the top fighting games in the FGC right now: Dragon Ball FighterZ, Injustice 2, Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition. The New Challenger Discord is filled with plenty of fighting game enthusiasts and people that will help you build that solid foundation and get you ready to compete in local tournaments or even online tournaments. They have online group training. They have solo one-on-one training. You can get everything that you need to build that foundation to become the FGC member that you were meant to be. So the website is newchallenger.gg. Join the Discord and make sure that you follow those guys on Twitter as well at New Challenger TV. They are also on Twitch, and they have weekly and bi-weekly tournaments that you can enter in and win actual prizes. So again, newchallenger.gg. Let them know that True Sonic sent you. Shout out to Mr. Vinegar, who is the founder of the Discord channel. And as always, a big shout out to our homeboy, the one, the only Mount Lover. He is a moderator, a coach, and he is the host and main contributor to the Dragon Ball Fighters League over at New Challengers. So big shout out to him. He's a major contributor to the podcast as well. He's the one that has this sexy layout that you guys get to look at every week. He's responsible for that. So big shout out to him. And yeah, let him know the True Sonic sent you. That's newchallenger.gg. So now, let's get back to business. Because we have our top 5 news stories for the week here. And we have some big ones. We were just talking about EA. And we're going to continue talking about them because Battlefield 5 was announced. Yeah. It was announced and they showed off quite a bit. They showed off quite a bit during like a live stream. They answered a lot of questions, a lot of burning questions that that gamers have been having because they don't have the best track record right now. No. So a lot of people were very concerned when, going into a new game when, their past like 3 games have had so many issues. But I don't know. In my opinion, they did not disappoint when it came to the more concerning issues like loot boxes and stuff like that. They came out right away, said there will be no loot boxes
and no premium premium pass.
No premium pass,
which was another point of contention in the Battlefield.
Yeah, because in Battlefront 2, everybody was excited when they said that there would be no
premium pass.
No premium pass, right. But that meant that they was going ham on the loot boxes. So now, finally, it seems like they're getting their shit together.
Right. They at least with this game.
This developer,
Yeah, they definitely came out with I think they came with a proper release. I think that the moving microtransactions to cosmetic only. Again, I'm not a huge fan of microtransactions. I will partake in them every so often, but I hate them when they affect your progression in the game.
Yeah.
And to make sure that this game has no progression affected by microtransactions, I'm glad to see that. I'm definitely happy to see that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't have a problem with microtransactions either. It's just when it's like a blatant abuse of what they're trying to do. When they're using it to nickel and dime you after you've already paid $60 full price for a game. That's terrible.
That's terrible.
And there's so many things going on in gaming right now where it's like, oh well, you bought the game, but you got the season pass, and you got the DLC, and this and that. This is it looks like they're straying away from that, and they're trying to make just a solid video game, a solid experience from the get-go.
Right.
Because we've learned over the last few years that if you make a solid video game, people will buy it and people will play it.
And they will use microtransactions.
Yeah.
People love to customize their characters. That's one of the biggest things in games. People like to dress up their characters the way they want them to look.
Yeah.
And if you offer them that and a compelling game, they will keep playing your game and they will keep buying these cosmetics. And
but the foundation has to be there, and it can't like look and seem like shoehorned in.
Right, exactly that. So
I like the approach that they're going with. They're making a solid game, a solid foundation first, and then if you want to invest more to enhance your experience however you want, the choice is yours. So I'm totally down with the approach that they're taking. I myself am not a huge Battlefield fan. I've never really got into the series. I think I played maybe like 1 or 2 games in Battlefield like history ever. But I did hear good things about Battlefield 1. It didn't make me want to buy it, but I mean, I don't know if enough of my actual like friends decide to get this, I might jump on it just because it seems like I don't have to worry about all the extra baggage that comes with AAA games these days.
Yeah, I'm a huge Battlefield fan. I've been playing Battlefield since Battlefield 2. That was like one of my first, not my first experiences with first person shooters, but the first time I played a first person shooter, and I thought like, this is what I want in the game. Right. I was playing Battlefield 2. I played it on PC 2 ad nauseum, and Battlefield 3 on the 360. That's probably my favorite in the series. Battlefield 4 took a step back. And while Battlefield 1 is a great game, I didn't connect with the time period, the World War I time period. Yeah. I just didn't connect with this. I didn't play a lot, but this one I'm definitely going to get. Now this release didn't come without some controversy. So it's always got to be some controversy. So no microtransactions. Everybody's happy. The game looks good.
No loot boxes.
They got new game modes that look exciting and fun. But
I mean, even Sonny's excited. You can hear him squawking in the back. My ears are literally bleeding.
Yeah, but the controversy comes if you're watching us live. We just played the trailer video. And the box art, there's women featured in the game. So the women characters selectable and playable in Battlefield 5. And people are up at arms at that, saying, well, that's not historically accurate. There weren't women in World War II. There's 2 things with that. One, all of you bastards are wrong, because there were women that actually fought in the war. And to be very specific, Bulgaria enlisted women the same as they enlisted men. There were 350,000 American women that fought in the war. And so what you're saying is nonsense. Just quick Google will tell you that, and pick up a history book and put the game down for a couple of hours. Seriously. And then secondly, this is a video game.
Yeah, and like relax, my boys.
EA doesn't claim that Battlefield 5 is the most historically accurate game ever. They're just saying, hey, Battlefield 5 takes place during World War II. And that's it. Yeah. So all you dudes that are tweeting to that hashtag not my Battlefield,
like go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
go somewhere else.
we'll get into this a little bit later, but I think Battlefield 5 is looking promising. Is actually what they should have done with Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
As far as the microtransactions, but yeah, this is definitely something I will be putting my hands on and playing for sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I might even pick it up. It'll probably be the first time I've actually owned a Battlefield, because I've played others. I've never owned them though. But yeah, it looks good, and if this is even remotely similar to Battlefield 1, you're probably in for a good time. I've heard nothing but good things about Battlefield 1.
It's a great game. It's very good. I don't like the
world. You don't like the time period. Yeah. No, I can understand that. Yeah, but yeah, the female character, she's front and center, like in the trailer, on the freaking cover art, the promotional material. She's like front and center. I mean, and she looks badass. She got like the claw hand and all that.
Yeah. And what's great is I like the way DICE responded to GM. His name is Oscar Gabrielson. He's like, look, listen, we're going to include everybody. If you don't like including everybody, go play something else, is essentially what he said. But we're about inclusion, and that includes women, people of color, and whatever else is out there. Everybody.
Yeah, because in Battlefield 1, it was the black character who was front and center and the most prominent. I didn't hear any issues on that, but
no.
I personally didn't hear any issues. Yeah,
no, people are upset about that too. Absolutely, people are upset because again, they use that same historically accurate argument. Well, how did black people fight in the war? There was still segregation. Like, they had no problem sending us to go die for them.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, so
and then come back and we couldn't drink out the water fountain. That's
crazy. But yeah, that's a story for another day, probably for another podcast. This is a little controversial. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it looks promising. I can't wait to see more about it. They did show off quite a bit, but it'll be interesting to see what other modes are going to be included in the full game.
And just like everybody else, they are going to include a version of a battle royale mode. They haven't.
I'm not happy about that, honestly.
They haven't said much about it. I don't care, because they're keeping the base game, the thing that I like to play. They're not putting it in and taking something out like somebody else we know about. So
very true. Very true.
For them just to be added in on and not added on at the expense of something else, I don't care. Maybe I'll play it, maybe I won't. But the fact that I'm going to be able to play the game the way I've been playing Battlefield since, like I said, Battlefield 2, I'm okay with them adding something else.
Okay. Cool. So we'll have to wait and see what else comes out with Battlefield. Let's go ahead and move on to our next story, and we're jumping into the realm of Epic Games, because apparently they got some deep pockets over there at Epic. They've been making quite the killing on Fortnite, and so news just broke recently this week that they are going to contribute $100 million to the first Fortnite eSports season.
Competitive season, which what is a Fortnite competitive season?
I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. I didn't even know there was an esports scene for this game. I didn't know there was an esports scene for PUBG either, but apparently there is, and apparently it's on and popping over there.
Yeah. And I guess
it's like I don't know who would invest or contribute $100 million to anything that wasn't like substantial. So, so this is real. What's going on with this game?
Well, we talked about Fortnite when it was released on iOS and the fact that they made $50 million in the first month of being available on that platform.
Right. And
now they're coming out. They're coming this summer to Android. So there's going to be like a billion. There's a billion Android phones out there. So there's a billion people. They're going to have a pool of 1 billion people to add to this particular phenomena here. And it doesn't look like it's slowing down. People are excited. And just to put this $100 million in perspective, the PGA, the Pro Golfing Professionals, I don't even know what the PGA stands for, Pro Golfing Association.
Who cares? No.
But just to put this in perspective, the Pro Golfing League, Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy and all those dudes.
I know one of them.
Their total payout last year was $325 million in prize money for the Pro Golf Tour. So Fortnite is a third of that, and this is the inaugural season. This is the
inaugural season, the first season of a game that is not even a year. Is this game a year old yet?
Not yet. It won't be a year old coming until October, right?
Yeah. So this game isn't even a year old.
Mm-hmm.
And dishing out a third of what the PGA does for Tiger Woods and all those pros, that is crazy, man. A lot of money. And like, who's to say that that Epic will be the only contributor? This is just
this is just what Epic is giving out. This is not included any sponsors that
sponsors. There we go. Yeah.
And what the international last year was $24 million for the international tournament. Was that right?
We talked about that, and I don't remember the exact amount, but man.
This is big money, big time.
Big money, yeah. I mean, Epic knows that they've struck lightning in a bottle here, and they're gonna go with this for quite some time.
Oh, yeah. They have to.
I mean, they shut down Paragon because of this.
Right.
When this game picked up, they were like, all right, well, we're done with that. Let's focus. Let's buckle down and focus. And they've been doing so. They're already on like I think season 4 of the battle pass or whatever.
Right.
So that launched not too long ago. They got all types of new costumes and unlockables for people. It's quite the phenomenon that's going. I personally don't see it. I mean, I played the game. It's fun, but I don't see where the mass appeal is coming from. No, every time I turn on the news, they're talking about how Fortnite is so this and that and addictive and doing all that nonsense. But man, this game is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And we've been talking about the comparison between this game and PUBG for quite some time. I think it's safe to say that we have a clear winner in terms of the battle royale department.
At least a leader for sure.
Yeah. For right now, I mean, who are the other contenders? I mean, H1Z1 and freaking what's it called?
That's it. PUBG.
No,
Fortnite,
there's one
PUBG.
more. Radical Heights, man. Come on, how you gonna forget Radical?
They just closed that studio down. That doesn't count. It's just those three: Fortnite, PUBG, and H1Z1, which apparently had a very successful release on PlayStation 4. Yeah, so they have those three. Those are the three front runners at this point. I mean, you got Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Call of Duty coming out.
Throwing their hats in the ring. We'll see how they do.
Yeah.
But right now, Fortnite is the runaway leader at this point. And they got the ducats to show it.
They got them ducats. They got them accolades. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I would actually like to see a competitive Fortnite like season. I want to see how that turns out. You know, I might have to tune in and watch.
No interest.
No interest. I mean, it seems interesting. I would like to actually put a visual on it because I don't know how it would work, honestly.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story. And we haven't talked about this particular topic for quite some time. We're going to be getting into sales figures. So go ahead and get out your calculators and your what's the little thing that you count with?
The abacus.
The abacus. Yeah, I always forget. Get your abacuses.
Break out the abacus. Yeah.
Break out your abacus. Get your freaking your scientific calculators from high school, and let's do some math, y'all. Let's count some numbers.
Yeah.
All right, so what we got?
We got April MPD numbers, and like I said, we haven't talked about this in a while, and we actually mentioned it just a little bit last week when we talked about GTA 5 reaching almost 100 million copies, and that's what made me want to bring this up because I just wanted to see what's going on. What are people buying? What are you buying out there, gamers? What are you buying? So, yet again, PlayStation 4 is the number one selling console. PlayStation 4 beats out Xbox One and the Switch.
Yep.
It doesn't mention whether Xbox One or Switch was second place or not. I didn't see that, but yeah. So I
mean, I would suspect that the Switch would be second.
Yeah. There's that, and then the top 20 games, and this is where I really wanted to talk about. Number one game is God of War.
God of War, yep.
The number 3 game is Major League Baseball, the show. So PlayStation has 2 of the top 5 games. Far Cry is in there. Nintendo Labo Variety Kit, which is the $70 one, not the robot one, but the other one with the piano. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart 8. Stop buying that motherfucker.
Stop buying that.
And then number 7, Grand
Theft Auto. It had dropped out of the top 10 for quite some time. I mean, it was still in the top 20, but it had dropped out of the top 10. I think with the release of the most recent online DLC, it pushed it back up. So it's back at number 7.
And then we got PUBG is on there at number 11. Sea of Thieves is on there number 18, which is the Microsoft exclusive. I didn't think that would stay up there. That's interesting. And then Monster Hunter World makes a list. Ghost Recon, World War II, Call of Duty, Kirby All Stars, FIFA 18, which is a year-old game pushing.
I'm looking at some of the games on here. A lot of these games have been out for quite some time. I mean, Ghost Recon Wildlands, that's number 12, and that game has been out for a while.
It came out last spring, right?
Yeah, and I haven't really heard much about this game's, after that, what was it, that Predator DLC? I haven't heard anything else about it.
They just did another crossover, and I don't remember what it is now. They just did another crossover. I can't think of what it is. Sam Fisher.
What's it called? That's Splinter Cell.
Yeah, they did a Splinter Cell crossover.
Yeah. That's right.
Because
it was in that crossover where Sam Fisher had the line where they referenced Solid Snake and how he was gone or whatever.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Right. Yep.
He's like, I'm the only one. Yep, you're the only one. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I pray to God that the next Splinter Cell is not an open world game. I kind of need my linear story from that franchise.
Exactly.
Because the last one was that one was good. I think Blacklist, that shit was awesome.
Yeah. And then the one last list I wanted to talk about is the top 10 selling games for a 12-month period. So over the year, so from April 2017 to April 2018, the game that sold the most is Call of Duty. Grand Theft Auto was 7th in that list. NBA 2K18, Destiny 2, which people tend to hate, but they keep buying it. Star Wars Battlefront's on there, Battlefront 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, Mario Kart 8, Super Mario Odyssey. These are not in order, by the way. I'm just jumping up and down because I don't want to do it in order.
Right. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually surprised at some of these games. You know, Destiny 2 has received a lot of flack. Yet, you know, it's still selling. It's still sold, you know, a lot of copies. The same thing could be said about Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Right.
These are games that have, you know, been, you know, riddled with controversy and you know, issues, and a lot of it that's still like ongoing, especially in the case for Destiny 2. So it's actually really interesting to see these numbers and see which games are actually standing the test of time, you know, in terms of consistent sales, because you would not think that Destiny 2 would be number 3 for the top 10 best-selling games for a 12-month period. I would never suspect that.
Right, exactly. And it could be that a lot of their sales were front loaded, right? The first couple of months, and not so much lately, because it's not anywhere on the top 20. It's not in the top 20 for this month. It wasn't on any of the top 10 lists for any of the specific platforms. So you can look at it that way and be like, okay, they sold a ton for the first few months and now they're not selling a lot. Who knows? But yeah, it's interesting. And Grand Theft Auto 5 and Mario Kart 8, stop buying those old games.
Stop buying Mario Kart 8. Stop buying that. Because like who's to tell whether or not the sales are for 8 or deluxe, or if they're combined? Like it doesn't specify.
It doesn't break that out. That's correct.
So I don't know which you know, what numbers they're actually reaching for, because if you ask me, it's the same damn game.
Yeah,
just at full price still. It's freaking ridiculous. But yeah, that's enough math. My brain is riddled with numbers right now, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to something a little serious. When in terms of what we normally talk about. We brought up this story when it first broke. You know, the individual that was responsible for the death of a man and over a dispute in Call of Duty, the Kansas swatter. Yeah. We're not gonna name him. We're not gonna show his face or anything like that, because I feel like a lot of these people do the things that they do because they want to be like noticed, and it's clear that this guy wanted to be noticed because he was actually the same person that called in the bomb threat to the FCC.
Right.
And I didn't even know that was the case.
Yeah. So this is just coming out this week. They were doing an investigation. So back in December, Ajit Pai was doing was holding a conference for his rolling back of the net neutrality laws.
Yeah.
And he cut it off and walked out, and it came to find out somebody had called the bomb threat into the building. And apparently it was this guy that made the swatting call to that guy, a Wichita, Kansas man killed.
Yeah.
And then that's not all he did, because about 7 days later, he made another bomb threat to the FBI headquarters. So not only does this guy swatting people, he's making bomb threats to federal agencies. So he was in custody. They figured out it was him. So he's being indicted on those 2 charges as well.
In addition to the swatting charge.
In addition to the swatting charge, yeah. So he's definitely going to be put in jail for quite a while.
Quite a long time, yeah.
He may need to be mentally evaluated, because for somebody to be doing it, something's wrong with him. Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is not normal behavior. It's not behavior of a sane person either.
Yeah. He definitely needs help, and you know, hopefully he gets it. I don't know what to say about a person like that. It's clear that he was, you know, he's a repeat offender. This isn't like the first time. Even when they found out about the swatting incident, that wasn't the first time that he swatted somebody.
Yeah, he had been arrested for doing some making calls and this type of stuff back in, I think, 2013 is what it was said. So yeah, he's definitely a serious issue. He has a serious issue, I should say.
Yeah. He has serious problems. Hopefully problems that will be taken care of while he's incarcerated, because he definitely needs to get away, needs to I mean, like, damn, just take away his cell phone, take away his internet connection.
Right.
Like these kind of people that just grow up like with no kind of like social interaction, they do these kind of like weird things. So,
and I said 2013, it's 2015.
15, okay.
Yeah, is when
So yeah, we try to stay as current as possible with these kind of stories. We did mention that if anything else came up involving the Kansas City Swatter, that we would bring it up. So we're staying true to our word. But that's enough of that, if you ask me. I mean,
Yep.
this guy, he's going away for a long time, and he deserves to do so. So
Yep.
let's go ahead and move on. We have some news coming out of Sony, so let's go ahead and get into that. We have a lot of Sony news to cover here, so let's jump into it.
Sony's been kind of quiet lately, so yeah, it's kind of it's refreshing to hear some news out of Sony.
Besides what's happening with like E3 and all that, we're trying to avoid spoilers. We're gonna have plenty of that to talk about once E3 gets going. So let's go ahead and start. The first thing that we have to talk about is that Sony has partnered with Scuff, which if you are unfamiliar with Scuff, they make custom controllers with like all kinds of different like I don't know what you want to call it, features. Different like features and modifications that you can
modularity. And to further that, the Microsoft Elite controller licensed some technology from Scuff when they built that particular controller.
When they made the Elite. So this is essentially the PlayStation equivalent to the Elite controller. It's called the Vantage.
Yeah, the Scuff Vantage.
Scuff Vantage, and it is available for a lot of freaking money.
So that's my first and probably my only problem with it. It starts at $179 for a wired version and $200 for a wireless version. It is officially licensed by Sony, so it's going to have the official PlayStation license and markings, and it's going to work wirelessly, but it's stupid expensive.
And that's expensive for a controller, man. I wasn't able to justify the purchase of the regular Xbox Elite controller. I wasn't able to justify it. I mean, after all these months, I was like, you know what? I don't think it's worth it, man. Just for a controller.
And that's $150.
Yeah, and that's $150. Like this starts at $160 for a wired. Like who still has wired controllers that?
Well, people, there's a group of people that feel like it reaction.
Well, when it comes to like fighting games like arcade sticks or fight pads, those are wired. But as far as just like regular controllers, like nah, I don't do wired.
And my question is, why is the wireless module $30? I think that's a little expensive for a wireless module.
I don't know, man.
But beyond complaining about the price, the controller actually looks pretty solid. One thing that caught my eye and made me really interested in it is that it's using the Xbox analog stick layout, where they're offset as opposed to the standard PlayStation side by side, which has always been a complaint, which is one of the reasons I don't play my PlayStation as much, because that particular layout is uncomfortable to me.
Right, and that was the most intriguing part of this, because any controller that that you would see like this, where the analogs were offset, it wasn't an official PlayStation controller.
Exactly.
Like, all PlayStation controllers have the same horizontal layout for the analog sticks. Like I'm holding mine right. This is my favorite controller right here, the red one. I love this damn controller. It's my favorite.
It's uncomfortable.
But I don't know. I find it okay. But
alien thumb says it's uncomfortable.
I got small hands, man. That shit works out for me. But like anytime you would see any of those controllers, like those off-brand or like third-party controllers, they would fix that issue, but they would definitely not be licensed by PlayStation.
They were always wired. Yeah.
Right. This could be the first iteration of the PlayStation controller that has the offset analog sticks.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And we talked about this off air before we got online. But I went and did a couple of custom builds, and the cheapest I got was like $219.
Damn.
Like, that's expensive. I mean, I paid $250. $279 for the PlayStation VR that came with the headset, 2 move controllers, and a camera.
And you talking one controller for more than that?
Yeah, I mean is that a premium price over my Elite? And I'm just not into it for that much money. I mean, if they would have came out at $150 like the Elite, I'd probably be like, yes, I'm all over it.
Yeah.
But for $200, come on.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not even playing any games right now that would actually benefit from all of those like enhanced features, like the triggers on the back or whatever. Right. Yeah, and that's one of the other reasons why I didn't get the Elite controllers is because I wasn't really playing anything that would take advantage of the paddles. And like I'm old school, man. Like if the controls are weird in a game, I just adapt. I just get used to the weird controls. Right. Like you could ask Mount Lover. Every game that he plays, he's like, okay, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. I'm changing the control scheme. I'm like, nah, I'll get used to it. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just, me personally, I like that it's offset and I like that it's wireless. And like I said, if I had that controller, a lot of the games on my PlayStation backlog, I probably would start cleaning up. But like I said, I can't sit and play on the PlayStation 4 controller for more than 40 minutes before I'm like super uncomfortable and I got to put it down.
Yeah. Like I do have issues with games that have both the like where the D-pad will be mapped to like other buttons. So like instead of like going up or instead of like going down to the D-pad and like easily accessing those buttons, I have to like go up on it. I don't like doing that. I don't like using the D-pad when I'm playing a game that is primarily using the analog sticks. But I don't know, like it seems like a good concept. Maybe once the price goes down a lot, I may consider it.
Right. But the Scuff stuff doesn't. I've yet to see a price on Scuff stuff because before the Microsoft Elite, I was looking at a Scuff controller, and I kept my eyes open for a deal, and I never saw a deal.
I don't know, man. Maybe if they just come out with a PlayStation controller with the offset analog sticks, like that, I'll just buy one of those, because that is a problem, especially when you're playing games that are on both like consoles or whatever. Because like I have Far Cry 5 on Xbox One, and then I game share with my brother on PlayStation 4, so I play Far Cry 5 on that as well. And sometimes like I'll get mixed up with the controls, and sometimes like the button layouts are weird. Like the map button on PlayStation 4 is like that huge like touchpad.
The touchpad, yeah.
Yeah, and then so I could press that with my right hand and it feels good. But on Xbox, it's the freaking menu button, which is on the left side. So
the left thumb, yeah.
So yeah, it just weirds me out a little bit when I have to like keep changing up my freaking hands for the same button.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if I can get my hands on it for a price closer to what the Elite controller was, I would definitely get it. But at $200, I think it's a little bit much.
That's a little ridiculous, in my opinion.
And yes, I know I can get the wired one, but I don't do wired.
No, I don't do wired. And I mean, if the thing's charging, that's one thing. But like my console is actually like across the room from me, and I play at my computer right here. Yeah. So having a wired controller like spanning all the way over there, it just doesn't work for my setup.
No bueno.
No bueno. No bueno indeed. But yeah, there's more Sony news, so let's go ahead and go down the list. What we got next?
Okay, so on an investor call, there was an interesting little tidbit that was pulled out of it, and basically, the CEO is it Kaz Hirai still?
I believe so.
Yes, he basically said the PlayStation 4 is beginning its end of cycle.
Yeah, it's the final phases of his life cycle. Yeah.
Right, the final phase. So, and people got all up in arms. Oh, it's the new PlayStation, blah. But what that means to me is that the PlayStation 4 has saturated the market, right?
Right, they basically peaked as far as like concurrent sales or whatever.
Right. So going forward, the PlayStation sales aren't going to be growing. Basically what they're telling people is look for the PlayStation 4 console sales to start declining because we've reached a saturation point, and that makes sense. The console's it's in its 5th year of the cycle. And the second part of the story is that they did have to come back and say, hey, look, there's not another PlayStation coming for at least 3 years. Right. And that's at least. It could be more. So we're looking at 2021 before you would think about a new PlayStation console. That gives the PlayStation 4 Pro a 5-year life cycle, and the PlayStation 4 itself would have 8 years?
Yeah.
Right?
So, I mean, which isn't too far off from what they initially wanted to do. They were looking for a 10-year cycle.
Right.
Back when the PlayStation 4 was first announced and, first released. Yeah, so 8 years. I mean, that's not bad. And for all of the exclusives that we got and are still going to get in the future, I mean, we have games like Insomniac Spider-Man. We have oh god, freaking what's the damn game? Oh god, I can't remember.
That
with
game, with
the
the
Joel
biker,
with
the
no,
biker
well, yeah,
zombies?
that the one with oh god.
Detroit, that came out already. Detroit.
Nah, I ain't playing that shit. I'm talking about it's a sequel. It's a part 2, The Last of
Oh,
Us.
Last of Us. Yeah,
Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
We have Death Stranding's coming
Death
out
Stranding.
whenever. And then yeah, Days Gone. That one was pushed back. So yeah, they have a lot of games that are going to be only on PlayStation that are coming down the pipeline. So they're far from done.
And if you follow Sony's history, when they release a new console, they don't just immediately shut down the old one.
Oh yeah, the PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 3 stayed around for at least 3 years after 2 or 3 years after the PlayStation 4 was released. So when you look at the next PlayStation coming out for 3 years, PlayStation 4 will probably still be supported for a couple years after.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, yeah, even going further back when the PlayStation 3 released, the PlayStation 2 was going strong still.
Right.
Yeah, it's because of that library. And that's what I feel like they're doing with PlayStation 4 once again. They are making sure that this console has a steady library so that people that aren't ready to jump into the next one will still have games to play.
Right.
So, and that I can't do nothing but appreciate that, because I know I've been having fun with my PlayStation 4 exclusives. I've been having a lot of fun.
I haven't played my PlayStation.
Oh God, Boogie, come on, man! You got to get on God of War.
I refuse.
What? You refuse to play God of War? It is so good. Oh my God, it's so good.
I have no interest. I have very little interest. I might grab it,
and it's like it's not even like it's like a direct sequel or anything. It's kind of like a soft reboot, because he's in a different realm, and a whole bunch of like crazy shit goes on that you don't need previous game history or knowledge in order to understand it.
Right.
So that's the best part about it, in my opinion.
Right. I will. I mean, the summer sales are coming, right?
Yes.
They usually come right after E3. There's going to be the summer sales. The Xbox summer of games, and PlayStation has their version. And I'm sure God of War, considering how well it sold, will be on there. I might grab it then. Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Play that game. It is both entertaining and challenging at the same time. I loved it. I mean, I'm still loving it. Pause, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Because as much as I liked Horizon Zero Dawn, this is close to the same type of game.
True. Yeah. Yeah. It's just an action adventure game. It's in the narrative. Oh, that narrative. Beautiful. But yeah, getting back to the main story, I mean, PS4 ending its reaching the end of its life cycle does not mean that the new system is on its way anytime soon. We have we're a few years out from that. But yeah, just like you said, it's just that the sales have peaked. So, going forward, you're going to see PS4 sales, start declining. But that's because everybody has a PS4.
Right. Everybody that wants it pretty much has it. And one other rumor is that they are working with AMD on a Ryzen chip.
Sony's excited about that.
So that may be what they're going to put in the next PlayStation, but they just started. Yeah. And that type of collaboration usually takes years to get together. So,
but you know what? I think Sony has really huge ambitions for PlayStation 5 if they're even willing to announce that it's 3 years out, because when this console generation started and we started seeing the modular upgrades, it was confusing as to what the future may hold for home consoles. I wasn't sure if we were going to see a PlayStation 5, but I guess we can clearly
that's because a lot of the people that claim to know that don't really know said, well, people don't want consoles anymore. They want streaming and they want mobile games and they want. No, it's not true. And I mean, they've sold, between Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, they sold about 130 million consoles. Yeah. I mean, that's a ton of systems over a 7-year period. So I mean, a 6-year. Wait, what year is it? 5-year period.
Yeah, 5s.
Math.
Math, y'all. Where's your abacus, man? Where's your abacus? Go get that thing.
Over a 5-year period, that's a ton, and that clearly states that there is still a huge market of people that want a dedicated console, and on top of that, these consoles do other things. I mean, Netflix and Vudu and Play Disc, and if you have an Xbox, you can play 4K Blu-rays. Take a shot.
But
got my shot in, but no, yeah, but I mean, consoles are still definitely something that's got a strong following.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I don't know what I would do if
all I had was PC.
If all I had was PC, because when everything is in one place, you know, I like that there's competition in gaming, you know, because when there's no competition, there's less incentive to do better, because like, well, this is the only place you're going to get it, so take it or leave it, you know.
Right. And my biggest but the feature I love the most on Xbox or consoles is just the plug and play ability. Yeah. Where it's just, I know when I get a game, it's going to play the way it's going to play on my Xbox. All the games are going to play the same. Whereas on the PC, I might get a game and I'm dropping frames because my PC is not strong enough. God. Or I'm getting lower textures and all of this, and then I got to fiddle with this setting and that setting. Maybe I need to upgrade. I don't want to deal with that. I want to be able to get a game, load it up, and off I go. And it's going to look the same whether I'm playing Red Dead Redemption or I'm playing Destiny or I'm playing Battlefield or whatever else I'm playing. I'm not worried about crazy issues that you run into with PC.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that as well, because I've never been a PC master race guy. You know, and I have all 3 consoles from this generation right in my setup. So not a fanboy of any of them. All of them have their issues, but I cannot imagine not having home consoles. So it's good that they made that announcement. You know, I'll be happy to see, you know, in 3+ years what they come up with. But yeah, that was our top 5 news stories for this week. Let us know what you think down in the comments section. We would love to hear your feedback. A lot of news in regard to you know, Sony. But yeah, if you have stories that you would like for us to talk about, you want to get our opinion on, make sure that you submit that to us via our social media. We're on Twitter and we're on Facebook. You can also leave comments down in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever it is that you are consuming this media, you know, whether you're on Facebook or whatnot. Let us know. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. But with that said, we can go ahead and move on to our next segment. No loot box story this week.
No loot box. The biggest loot box story was packaging with the Battlefield.
Yeah, that there will be no loot boxes, so that's a good thing. So yeah, nothing to talk about as far as this week in loot boxes. So we can go ahead and continue the conversation that we were having when we brought up Battlefield 5, and that's gaming's continued struggles with inclusion. So let's go ahead and jump into that. That's going to be our long form for this week. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah. So the issue is that developers are generally or majority white male, right? And they don't, even though they may try, they don't necessarily know how to include women and people of color. And beyond that, when they do try, sometimes it's ham-handed and it's horrible, it's badly implemented. You know, look at the original Lara Croft, super small waist, big hips, big boobs, even though it's pixelated or
triangles,
but it still was like a caricature of a woman, right? And when the new Tomb Raider came out, there were complaints that just didn't look like Lara Croft. I mean, they made her more. She's still a petite woman, but they made her a more natural looking woman, not just this caricature of a woman.
Yeah, they actually like tweaked her face in the original like Tomb Raider game when it came out on PC and Xbox One and PS4. They actually like tweaked her face a little bit. The only reason I even remembered that is because I was at Dave & Buster's today, and they have a Tomb Raider like game, what's it called? Light gun game. and it was the original face from like the original 360 version. Like, oh man, I forgot that she looked like this. She had kind of like these like chubby little cheeks, and her eyes were kind of chinky or whatever. So I was like, oh man, I forgot that she actually looked like this. They actually like changed her face in the newer releases.
Right.
So,
yeah. So I mean, when you look at that, and then on top of that, when you look at games where they add the protagonist as a person of color, those games always get a lot of hate.
Oh my god, so much flack.
When Battlefield 1 came out and they put the brother on the cover and what do you want to say? Oh my words, featured them.
Yeah,
and they featured them. People were up at arms, right? And it seems like the new way to call this out, the way to mask your bigotry is to say that
it's not historically accurate.
Yeah, that's, which is nonsense. It's like, well, why? The question is, why is there a black man on here and not a strong white man? Why is there a woman and not a white man like it should be? Is the argument? And I think more and more developers are trying and they're getting better. But while they're trying and getting better, more and more the community is getting worse.
Yeah.
They complain about any and everything. They complained about the dude in Watch Dogs. They complained about the only one I didn't hear complaints about was GTA San Andreas. And that was because that's their expectation of a black character, right? He was a criminal gangbanger. It's like, oh yeah, that's what black people are supposed to be. They can't be hero soldiers. They can't be just a smart hacker or just a normal person. They have to be like a gangbanger or something like just derogatory. And
right, something that mimics society's like perception of black people. Yeah, if it's portrayed that way in video games, okay, this is what we expect. There's no issues with it. But when there's anything that's kind of like outside of that generalized stereotype, yeah, then that's where the issues arise. I mean, just look at Hangar 13's Mafia 3. Remember that?
Yeah,
I remember when that game was coming out. Because it was plastered like right on your face. It's like, yo, these guys are going at some of like the issues that went on during that time, because the game took place in like New Orleans and it dealt
with Jim Crow area.
Yeah,
Jim Crow era.
Yeah, and it dealt with a lot of those like serious issues, like racism and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, and this game, like I love Mafia 3. I thought it was an excellent game with an excellent story.
What the screen looks like.
Oh my God, Boogie! What have you taken it out of the wrapper at least?
It's digital, so yeah, it's digital.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's digitally unwrapped.
Okay, digitally unwrapped.
It's on the hard drive.
So sad, so sad. So you want to get on me about Star Wars? Come on now. But yeah, yeah. Jumping back into the main topic. Yeah, no. When characters aren't portrayed as the stereotypes of what you see on TV, there seems to be issues that arise. And so like the question is, how do we get past that? How do we get around it? What can we do?
People have to be educated, and currently the current social climate right now is just worsening because of the clown that we have in office and the nonsense that he spews, and people are latching on to that. Yeah. And they what I've seen happen is a lot of these people, like this Battlefield controversy, where is the hashtag not my Battlefield. A lot of those people wouldn't have been doing this. They would have been somewhere buried in the shadow somewhere doing this. They wouldn't have been as prominent as they are. So not only are they out there, not only are they energized, they now feel more emboldened to come out and publicize their bigotry and publicize their misogyny, and that's part of the problem. It's a societal issue. And it's not going to go away. The only way it's going to go away is education. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just part of the problem. It's like, this is what we're supposed to do, and if somebody else is doing it, you're taking it away from me. Just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean you can't still do it also.
Right.
I mean, nobody's taking anything away, and that's the message you have to get out there. You have to get out there that everybody can do it, not just you can do it. And if they're doing it, that doesn't mean you can't do it. Right. If they're doing it, you can do it too. And everybody should have the ability and the opportunity to do all the things.
Yeah.
Legally, of course.
Yeah. And you know what? There's actually been a lot of games and a lot of studios that have, kind of like broken down that barrier as far as, including, either people of color or females as their prominent, character in the games.
Right.
And I keep talking about God of War, but even in that game, and I'm not trying to spoil anything, but Kratos, he was probably like the embodiment of like, the dude bro, massive muscles, pale white skin, hacking and slashing, killing everybody. He goes through some pretty deep and tragic changes throughout the game that changes him from the stereotypical dude bro into a actual character of emotional substance. So that's something that has to be praised. And then of course you can't talk about inclusion without just going head on with new IPs that just feature women as their main characters, like Horizon Zero Dawn, the new Tomb Raider series, which is coming on its third game now.
Right. And
you gotta praise these games, and these are the type of games that I enjoy, and these are the kind of games that I'm gonna buy, because not only are they breaking down those stereotypes and going head taking them on head first, but these are actually games that are super fun to play, man.
Absolutely,
they're super fun.
Absolutely, and another aspect of that is when the games have the creative characters. I've noticed, and a group that's really represented are Asians.
Yeah.
When you look at the game, there's very little options for Asians. I mean, most times they go with the stereotypical slant eyes, and it's just a white guy with slant eyes, which is which is offensive.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I mean, when you look at the ability, when you have the ability to make your character, you should have the ability to make your character whoever you want, and they should be able to look like whatever, represent everybody. That's represent all people, race.
Yeah.
Color,
what game was that had to create a character and it was just like really lackluster?
All of them.
Not a lot of options. It was something I played recently. I want to say it was Andromeda.
Maybe.
But I think there was something after that, and I was just like, "Yo, the creator character is like ass in this game."
A lot of them would just use the standard white person features and just change the skin tone.
Yeah.
And they'll offer this crazy yellow skin tone.
Oh, you know what? It was actually Far Cry. Far Cry's that shit's garbage.
It's troublesome. Definitely troublesome.
Yeah.
That's why all the black people look like Kanye. Wait, what you talking about? What you say about
I think you do look like Jamie Foxx or some
Jamie
shit.
Foxx.
Yeah, you do look like Jamie Foxx, and and then like how when you if you pick a female character, instead of saying he and him, they say they.
Oh, you know what's funny? Destiny doesn't do that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
If you have a male and female character, Destiny will the commentation, they will specify he or she.
No, in Far Cry, I noticed they don't do that. They didn't feel like doing all those lines, I guess.
That's interesting. See, that's something that Destiny is probably the only game I've created a female avatar. I tend to like, I'm a dude, so I make a dude. I mean, some people like to use women, and that's up to them. But I usually
go with the females because they're smaller, so it's not as big a target.
Yeah, the reason I did Destiny female is because in Destiny 1, the dances were different for the male and the female, and the female hunter, the dance, I liked it, so I wanted it. So
that's what's up.
I used the female, and they carried over, but I typically don't. So that's something I wouldn't have noticed because of that. But yeah, it's just like I said, once you start adding protagonists, using people of color, using women of color. I still haven't seen a woman of color protagonist in any game. But once you start doing that, you got to move away from the stereotypes. And it seems like when you move away from the stereotypes, people get upset. Like I said, in GTA San Andreas and even in GTA 5, the black protagonists, they're okay with them because essentially they're criminals, right?
Yeah.
And that's what everybody thinks black people are, right? We're all criminals. But when the first time you put a person of color protagonist as, you know, replace it as a Kratos type character, or you make them a Sam Fisher type character, people have a problem with it, and you shouldn't. There's no reason to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but again, you know, with all the faults in gaming when it comes to inclusion, it doesn't do any good if we don't, like, you know, come out and praise the ones that have been including, like, you know, because we talked about a little while ago how this most recent NBA game was the first one to feature the entirety of the WNBA.
That's NBA Live. NBA Live this year. Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, like I never really thought of that because I just assumed it was a thing.
Right. And WNBA has been around for 20 years.
And it's their first game, game with the entire roster.
Yeah, and it's still lackluster because you only can pick them in exhibition. There's no season play or anything like that. But yeah, I'm assuming that it'll come down the road. But yeah, I mean, it's small steps, and they just have to keep moving forward.
Right.
And that's all I would like to see. When developers are making a game, when they make the player creators, you need to include as much as possible. Don't give stereotypical features and call it a specific race. It's just nonsense. And also, don't just make everybody the standard white guy or standard white woman, and then, you know, change the skin tone. That's that's lazy.
Yeah.
And beyond that, as far as gamers, as we as gamers, as people in the society, you have to understand that me doing something isn't stopping you from doing it too. Right. We both can do it. And that's going to be my giveaway there. It's just a woman doing, or a person of color doing something that you wanted to do doesn't preempt you from doing it as well.
I think we can end the long form on that. That was a beautiful statement, my boy. But yeah, this is a very important topic, so we would definitely like to hear your thoughts on this. Leave comments down in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube. We definitely want to know what you think about this, or what are some of your favorite games that you know, include women or, you know, people of color. You know, who are some of your favorite characters? Like, let us know down in the comments section. Let's go ahead and keep the discussion going on this topic. We're gonna put that in your hands. But now let's go ahead and move on to the final thoughts. And if you're just joining us, this is like the perfect time to jump in, you know, when we go through our final thoughts, because this is the part of the podcast. Hold on, if I can spell thoughts right. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
I know, right? All right. So yeah, this is the part of the podcast where we retrace our steps and just go over the stories that we talked about and give our final 2 cents on it. So if you're just joining us, this is probably like one of the coolest parts to join in, because you get like an abridged version of the show, essentially. So in our quick hit section, we talked about Nintendo Switch. And how they're coming out with the second Nintendo Switch being sold only in Japan. I feel like this is the continued showing of consumer hostility, but you will never hear any kind of backlash, or not backlash that's loud enough from the Nintendo fan base. So they're gonna eat it up. It's only available in Japan, so I don't know. I don't think that they would, you know, do right by Americans and, you know, price it correctly. But this is just continued, continued issues. Yeah, continued issues over at Nintendo, or Nintendo, as we like to call them, Nintendo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Or Nintendo. I don't know which one did he say.
Nintendo. It's Nintendo. You haven't been on your Switch. You on your Switch? You go to the Switch. That's his game. That's his name.
That's his name. Yeah, that's right. Nintendo. That's really funny. Best Buy ended the Gamers Club. Unfortunate, but, you know, then again, they're just getting with the times, and I wasn't aware of the fact that the Gamers Club was only for physical copies. And with the decline in physical copies, I mean, it only makes sense that they would either retire this one and come out with something new, or just retire it altogether and, you know, just be done with it. Right. It would be cool if they came out with something else that would help people, that you know, give people discounts or whatnot, because a lot of people were signed up for it, And it's actually really good that they're sunsetting it instead of just like canceling it altogether. So if you just bought it like today, it would still last for a year. So that's actually pretty cool. Paladin using Overwatch. Is this the first? I don't think this is the first time they've done that. I
don't think so either. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think we've talked about something like this a long time ago, dealing with Paladins copying Overwatch. I don't know. These guys are just crazy over there, but I mean, I guess you can afford that when your game is free to play. I don't know.
And they still have a ton of users.
Yeah, still got a ton of players. So I don't know. Big ups to them. EA acquiring the cloud gaming service. This is just par for the course. They said that they were going to do it, and they are keeping their word. Yep. It seems like. My thing is, I don't think that cloud gaming is here. I don't think we're there yet. You know, the infrastructure isn't there yet. We don't have the connectivity that we need for it to, you know, sustain itself. Because you look at the current models that we have right now with PlayStation Now. I've never tried it, but everybody that I've talked to that have tried it have said that there's glaring issues with it, and it's not something that they play for, you know, too long of a time. You know, they'll try something out and then like they'll be over it. Epic contributing $100 million. I had to put my pinky out when I said that to the Fortnite season, their eSports season. I mean, dude, Epic Games is killing it with Fortnite. Hopefully they do well with the eSports season. I am actually interested to see what competitive eSports Fortnite even looks like. So I'll be taking a look at that when that comes out. The NPD sales for April were very interesting. You know, we saw a lot of games on there that probably shouldn't be there anymore, like GTA and Mario Kart 8. It's crazy how many units these things are selling, and it's good to see that a freaking PlayStation exclusive in God of War is the top selling game for April 2018. I mean that game deserves all the praise in the world, in my opinion. It's really good. The Kansas swatter being charged in the FCC bomb threat. That guy needs help, man. That guy needs serious help. And I don't know, man. If anything's gonna happen with our tax dollars, like putting this guy away, hopefully he gets the mental help that he needs, because like that he got serious issues, man. And I think the one thing our tax dollars should be paying for is like rehabilitation, not just putting them away, you know?
Not just incarceration, exactly.
Yeah, not just incarceration. He needs to be rehabilitated. Definitely needs to have some changes in his mindset, because that guy, he's just crazy for all the stuff that he's done. It's just like, this guy's crazy. Like, who does that? In Sony news, we had them partnering with Scuf for the Elite controller or Vantage controller. Yeah, that thing is a little too expensive for my tastes, so I will pass on that. But it is interesting, some of the features that it's going to have with the analog sticks not being parallel to each other. That's probably a first for an official PlayStation controller that I know of. I could be wrong on that, but most times where you see a PlayStation controller with the analog sticks not being parallel to each other, it's normally a third party, somebody else's, and it's not wireless either. They're always wired. So this is that's pretty interesting on that front. Yeah, and as far as the PS4 ending its life cycle, I feel like we talked about this enough, but just because they're going into the final phases doesn't mean that it's over. There's still plenty of games to come out, and the PS4 has sold like hotcakes, and it's going to continue to sell, just not at the rate that it's been over the last few years. So I can't wait to see what they got going next. I mean, PlayStation 4 is my first Sony console ever. And I have to say that I have enjoyed my PlayStation 4 probably the most out of this generation.
That's why it's the #1 selling console.
I mean, they got the exclusives, and you know, if at any time Xbox decides to come out with some games, I will be back on that thing like it's no tomorrow. But can't wait to see what Sony has up their sleeves at E3. It's going to be a really interesting E3 because, hey, we got some bits. Thank you for the bits, Windor7. Appreciate that. Shouts out to Windor, OG homie. Can't believe you just gave us some bits. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. What are your final thoughts, Boogie? What you guys say?
Like I said, Nintendo is a bunch of shysters. They're just screwing their fan base. To release the second Switch at a $40 less than a normal Switch, and then sell the dock for twice that is just disingenuous.
Yeah.
Best Buy into the Gamers Club unlocked. I think that's just a symptom of the physical sales declining. Even when you go into a Best Buy now, there's a lot less browsers for games in general. They used to have like 2 to 4 rows. Now it's like 1 or 2. One side is Xbox, one is PlayStation, and that's about it. Paladins, they're shameless. EA acquiring the cloud gaming service. It makes sense. They did announce that they plan to have a cloud service by 2021. And with the impending release of 5G networks, they may be looking to leverage that improved infrastructure to get this off the ground.
Yeah.
I'm excited about everything Battlefield announced, including women in the game. More power to them. Include everybody you can, in my opinion. I'm definitely going to be getting it and playing it. Like I said, Battlefield 1 is a great game. I enjoyed the small amount of time I played it. It's just the setting it didn't bring me in.
Right.
Epic contributing $100 million for Fortnite prizes. For the first season of Fortnite, that is just insane. And again, that's just from Epic. That's not including anything from any sponsors. So I would expect that number to only increase.
Yeah.
MPD sales, like I said, I wanted to go over this just because we hadn't seen it in a while, and that Grand Theft Auto 5 story. PlayStation 4 is still the runaway hit of this generation, and Grand Theft Auto 5 will not stop being sold. I think we're going to have to just ban that game. God of War being one game is actually pretty awesome, considering it is an exclusive game. And then Far Cry 5.
And it's not a multiplayer game.
Right, and it's not a multiplayer game, And Far Cry 5 being the number 2 selling game, considering it's been out since March, and it's worthy. I think it's a great game, even with its flaws. The kid, the Kansas swatter, he's going to get what he deserves. I mean, obviously he's not going to be getting any kind of death penalty, but he's going to get quite a few years, especially when you start threatening federal agencies.
Yeah.
I think in 2015 it was CNN. He called a bomb threat into CNN, and then in 2017 a bomb threat to the FCC, a bomb threat to the FBI, and then he swatted a guy. Wichita, Kansas man, which led to his death. So, right. I mean, that's a problematic, and like you said, he's got some kind of mental issues that needs to be resolved.
Hopefully.
The Sony news, the SCUF controller, I was super excited, especially when I saw the offset, because I have problems with the PlayStation controller. It's one of the reasons I don't put a lot of time in the PlayStation, because after about 35, 40 minutes, I get thumb fatigue. I have long alien thumbs. And
well, don't you have the thing that allows you to use your...
Doesn't work anymore.
Oh, damn. You serious?
Yep. So
that sucks.
So, I'm stuck either playing PlayStation game with cramped thumb knuckles. So
cramped thumb knuckles. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that term before. But
yeah, I would be very interested at $50 less.
Yeah. Anytime we talk about PlayStation, I'm gonna ask about your thumb knuckles now.
And then the PlayStation 4 had into the end of this life cycle, and that's just them saying, look, the PlayStation has sold 80 million, 75 million,
man. Something like that on the track.
Yeah, the PlayStation sales aren't going to grow anymore. They're going to start declining. It makes sense. I mean, you sell 75 million units. Now, there's not that many more people out there that needs or wants a PlayStation.
Right.
So it makes sense that those sales will decline. And then them piggybacking by saying, hey, look, that doesn't mean the new PlayStation is coming out tomorrow. You're going to wait at least 3 years. And that's just a normal life cycle. That gives it an 8-year life cycle, which is normal. Nothing out of the ordinary.
No. But yeah, those are our final thoughts. We would love to hear your thoughts on any and every story that we talked about today, whether it's the first one, the last one, anything in between. We want to know your thoughts, so make sure that you reach out to us on our social media. If you want to get in touch with us directly, we are on Twitter. We are at AWGNS. We are on Facebook, a weekly gaming news show, or facebook.com/AWGNS. You can also hit us up on our YouTube channel. We post the weekly gaming news 10 and 10 every Saturday, which is a short snippet into some, not all, but some of the stories that we will be discussing on the full podcast. And for those of you that don't know, we do go live every Sunday, rain or shine. Not really, but we tend to go live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to catch us on YouTube, that goes up every Monday at noon, in addition to the podcast on your favorite podcasting apps. And speaking of those, Boogie, why don't you let them know exactly how they can listen to us if they don't want to look at our beautiful faces? Which, I mean, why wouldn't you want to look at our... I mean, look at my t-shirt, man. I got the Deadpool.
Awesome. That wins.
Yeah. You gotta watch the podcast just to see what kind of t-shirt I'm wearing. Like, cause I come with it every week, man. I come with it. I mean, there's even pictures on the back. If I turn around, you can't really see it. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to look at our faces. But if you can't, for some reason, you can listen to us. Boogie, let them know how they can do that.
So if you're commuting to work, you're on your way to school, you got that bus. You can pull us up. If you're on iOS, we are in iTunes. Just a weekly gaming news show, or AWGNS. If you're using an Android device, we are in the Google Play Store using the same call letters, AWGNS, or a weekly gaming news show. We are also in TuneIn Radio, which allows you to play our podcast hands-free on your smart speaker. You just ask your smart speakers to play the most recent weekly gaming news show, and it will play the most current episode for you.
Yes.
That would be your Google Home or your Amazon Echo or whatever other.
So which one is Alexa?
That's Echo. That's
okay.
Amazon. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not called the Alexa; it's called the Echo, and the AI is Alexa.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be getting confused. I mean, I personally don't want any of those things in my house because I feel like they listen to you when they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed. They don't, for the most part, unless there's some kind of glitch.
Man, watch. We've been talking about Alexa. I'm gonna see. I swear this has happened like 5 times where I'm talking about something that I don't normally talk about, and then I open my phone and I got ads about that same shit. Like it's it's crazy, man. Like this thing right here. This thing is listening to you at all times. Yeah. Be careful.
That's those Samsungs, man. That's why you got to go with the Apple. Apple don't listen.
Yeah, right. Apple be listening to you. Apple be slowing down your phones on purpose. So we talked about that a while ago.
We're talking about that, right? The battery get issue.
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna end it for this episode, guys. This has been a weekly gaming news show, episode 102, covering the weekly news in gaming. And we do this for fun. But we also want to entertain you guys and keep you informed. So if you have any suggestions for any kind of like changes or any new segments for the show, let us know. We're open to suggestions. We take everything to heart. So please reach out to us via our social media. You can also email us. What's our email address? I forget.
The email address is ask@awgns.com.
Yes. Go ahead and send us emails. And with any suggestions that you would like, we are open to those as well. And we have some changes coming real soon. Yep. Changes are coming real soon. Look out. We're going to be launching season 3 of a weekly gaming news show. Up.
It's going to be our E3, the E3 episode. So E3 is the 12th to the 14th. So that episode would be June 17th, I think it is, right?
Yes, June 17th. So, so 1, 2, 3 weeks out. So in 3 weeks, we will be launching season
105.
105 is going to be, is that right?
Yeah, that's it. 105.
Okay, so episode 105 will be launching season 3. So we're going to get a whole makeover, and it's going to be awesome. We can't wait to show off what we've been saving for you guys. We're also going to be doing something cool for some of our OGs. Yeah. So you guys stay tuned. Keep your eyes open. That's right. Keep your eyes open. The OGs will be happy about what's coming up soon. So look out for that. But yeah, I think we've rambled on for enough here. We're going to go ahead and bounce out. This has been a weekly gaming news show, and we are your hosts with the most. My name is Trinell.
I'm Todd.
And we will catch you guys next week. Peace. And we're clear.
Oh, there we go. Stop. All right.
Cool. All right, man. I am starving.
Yeah, I am too. I didn't eat before I started.
Yeah, no, I haven't eaten all day. I haven't eaten all day, so I need to fix that.
Yeah, definitely.
All I had was popcorn. I went and saw the Deadpool at 1, but I didn't wake up till like 11. So
wow,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I stayed up.
You were playing that God of War.
I was playing that God of War real late. Then I went to sleep and tried to wake up early to see the movie. We were almost late. We got there like in the middle of the previews, but I've been to the movie so recently that there were no new previews. So I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. Didn't miss anything.
I try to actively avoid previews now because
really?
I go to the movies so often.
I love the previews
because I have the movie pass. But if you go to the movies as often as I've been going,
it's the same ones over and over again. Yeah. No, so yeah, I was actually pretty good.
I don't need to see that Tom Hardy Venom trailer anymore.
I am not hyped for that movie. The Mission Impossible, that shit comes up in every
movie.
Every movie they show that Mission Impossible one. I mean, it doesn't look like a bad movie at all. No. But my thing is like, what happened to the other guy? Because you remember there was one Mission Impossible without Tom Cruise. It was the guy that played Hawkeye in the Avengers.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, he was.
That was the last one. Tom Cruise was in that.
No. There was one before where Tom Cruise wasn't in it at all. It was all that guy, and then the next one had both, and then like now that character's gone. I don't know.
No way. There was a Mission Impossible without Tom Cruise.
Dude, yeah. Not Fallout. Fallout is the one that's coming out. See, this is what we do once the show ends. We just ramble on about shit.
Mission Impossible.
I'm about to look it up, man. No, you know what? I actually got some online sleuthing to do now that I've seen Deadpool, because I have to like look at like all of the freaking cameos and this stuff and all the characters and see what their back history was.
Oh.
Okay, so Ghost Protocol, that was in 2011. That one had Tom Cruise. Okay, that had both of them. I think. So which one am I talking about?
I think what you're talking about is the Bourne movies, because Jeremy Renner played in one of the Bourne movies without Matt Damon.
Yeah. I freaking I mixed that up. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mixed up the two movies. Oh, okay. So that was a Bourne movie.
Yeah, it was the Bourne.
I get them mixed up.
Bourne Supremacy? Bourne something. It was one of the Bournes, but it was no Jason Bourne. It was another dude.
Okay.
And Jeremy Renner played that part.
Okay. I mixed that up. Okay, so that actually makes sense now.
Yeah, because the Mission Impossible. The reason I know Mission Impossible well is because my wife. This is her
series.
Yeah, Mission Impossible. That's her stuff right there.
Yeah. No, the last one I saw was probably Ghost Protocol. I think that's the last one I've seen.
What's Rogue Nation?
I don't know. I haven't seen that one. 2015.
Ving Rhames, Lisa. Maggie Q was in it. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch those because Fallout actually looks pretty good.
Oh, I remember. Rogue Nation is the one where he got trapped underwater.
They got Rainer the fuck out of there. Oh, what's going on, DD? DD Sweets, they got Rainer the fuck out of. What the hell happened to that guy? Is he just like done acting? He did.
Jeremy Renner, no.
Man, he didn't show up in Avengers. He's not.
But he's gonna be in the next one for sure. But he was in
better.
He was just in the movie I just watched. What was he in? It was some movie I just watched. He was in it. I don't remember. A lot of people don't like Jeremy Renner. I like him.
I don't think he's bad at all. I like him a lot. For like action movies, I think he's pretty cool.
And what's funny is the movie I watched him in, it was an action movie. And he did the same fall he does in Avengers. You know how he does that stupid fall and his leg is all weird?
No, I don't know.
He did the same exact fall. I was like, God damn, that's the Hawkeye fall.
That's funny. No, but yeah, I liked Rainer in Arrival. That movie was awesome.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And I'm actually thinking about going to see Tag in theaters too. That looks funny.
Oh yeah, that's the movie I was thinking about. Tag. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That looks funny as hell.
No, I think it was something I watched on TV. But yeah, he is in Tag. Yeah.
No,
I've liked him in since the Hurt Locker. I thought he was in the Hurt Locker.
Cool. Yeah, I think the first movie outside of the Avengers that I saw him in was the Town. I saw that movie. That was pretty good.
Yeah, he was good in that as well.
Yeah, The Bourne Legacy. That's the one that he was in.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and then after that, he was just out.
He was
out of
gone.
the Bourne series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he get killed? I think he might have got killed in that movie.
I don't even remember, man. That movie was so like weird. I didn't like it all that much.
I know he got shot the fuck up.
They just murked him.
No, he was just getting shot up in that movie. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it started off strong and then like it kind of just like fell apart, and I was like, what the hell, dude?
But that
was weird.
I mean, that was a losing prospect for him because Matt Damon was attached to that, and it wasn't even the original writers that did the movie. It's just like when you do stuff like that, it's bound to fail.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, but those cameos in Deadpool, man. I don't want to spoil too much, but them shits was funny, man.
Yeah.
The Vanisher or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It was so funny, man. Oh my god!
Is he here? He's here. Maybe he's not here. Maybe he's late.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Oh my goodness, If you haven't seen Deadpool, do yourself a favor. Go see that movie.
It is good. It's a good movie. It's definitely a good movie.
Oh my god, that was crazy. But yeah, let me go ahead and bounce up out of here, man. Thanks to everybody that's been rocking with us in the live chat. For those of you that don't know or that are new, we like to take your guys' questions during the show. So if you have any questions, you want to ask us anything, you can do so in the chat and then we'll address it live on the show. We haven't really been talking about it too much. We really need to get back into that. But yeah, we would love to answer your guys' questions during the chat and, or during the show. And if we don't have time, we can actually like roll it over into the next week, like for an icebreaker or something like that. Exactly. So we definitely want you guys to ask us any kind of like gaming or like pop culture related questions. As long as it's like pop culture related. Like, don't ask me my favorite color. It's blue, but don't ask me. I'm not going to answer it during the show. But yeah. Yeah, everybody in the house is starving, so I'm gonna go and get out of here. We're about to order some Chinese food and watch some movies.
Sounds good.
It's gonna be a good night.
All right.
And no work tomorrow. Yes.
Monday, short week, long weekend, short week.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with it, man, because I'm getting paid regardless. Woo! Be getting that contractor money, man.
I hear you, man.
Being a contractor is weird, but it's it's so much money. It's like I've never been paid this much for doing work before. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you want overtime? I was like,
yeah,
yes.
And you don't get that a lot. People are like, no overtime.
No overtime. Nope. Yeah.
Yeah, they offer that, you take it. That's for sure.
Yep. So I've been working over, man. But climbing on roofs in DC is the worst, though, man. It is the worst.
I can bet.
Man, I had to climb up this one fire escape to get to one of the sites, dude. And like I'm going up the fire escape, and it's like people like looking at me all crazy, and it was raining that day. Oh god!
I was like, what is this?
What's this dude do?
He gonna bring it in my house? Bring it in my house. Call the cops.
Yeah, man.
Dude up there.
Get him. Oh my god! Yeah, but yeah. Once again, thank you all for tuning into the live showing. There's gonna be like I said, there's gonna be some changes going on, so make sure you guys keep up with us on Twitter as well, because we'll inform you guys of some details as we get closer to episode 105, because there's gonna be some changes going on here in the future, but I don't want to unveil those right now. But we're gonna bounce out. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you. I'm definitely gonna be back later on today for video games here on this channel, because. Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, but that State of Decay 2 is getting played. We're gonna do that.
I'm gonna take the stuff down. I'm gonna see if I can get into a raid. If I don't get into a raid, I will be up for some State of Decay as well.
All right, sounds good, man. But yeah, thank you all. We'll appreciate you, and we'll see you all in the next podcast. Peace out for now.
All right, man.
All right.